Hello, my name's Vanessa and this is Pagan Planning. In this video, we're going to go over the fountain pens in my collection. We were supposed to be going and planning the next week in my routines planner. I believe from the 13th to the 19th, but my replacement planner that I ordered because I want to downsize the routines planner is literally getting here tomorrow. So I decided that I wasn't going to do another week in the take a note that I have right now. That's just going to switch over to an overflow planner if I have a lot of feelings or a lot of thoughts or a lot of stickers to use. So to fill that space, I figured we could go over this since I did get a comment asking to go over the fountain pens in my collection. I've tried to lay it out as best as I can from first purchased to last purchased. There's only, I believe, one pen that's not in my collection. Well, there's technically two, but I believe there's really only one that I chose not to have in my collection anymore. And that's like a Monteverde pen that it comes with 3 different nib units that you can use, and I just didn't get attached to it. So other than that, this is basically what I have gone through, all that. So let's jump right in. The first one I bought, I believe, was this TWSBI Eco because it's a good starter pen and everything. Right now I believe it's filled with Diatramentus Cherry. I haven't checked in so long, and as you can see, there's like a bunch of nib creep on it and everything. But I got this in an extra fine nib because I figured going from a ballpoint or a gel pen, that would be the best. But I find the extra fine nibs are too scratchy for me, and I just couldn't write with it. Then the next I got was a Lamy Safari, and this was in a medium nib, and I got it because this green was basically my favorite color at the time. I don't believe this should be filled with anything. Yeah, its cartridges is all clear. But I got it and I liked it and I was writing with it a lot, and I figured I should maybe get another one because it was so good, which led me, sorry if there's too much glare, but that led me to getting a Pilot Metropolitan because I didn't want to, oh yeah, this is a post cap, a clip cap, and not a screw cap, a screw cap. But I got the Pilot Metropolitan because I'd also heard a lot of great things about this one. This one's also in a medium nib. You can see it has a marking on the actual nib. Now, what I found about these two were that they were not ones that you can just leave inked up. You have to use them, because if you leave them inked up, they're gonna dry out pretty quickly too. Which led me to buying my first TWSBI Diamond. And this is actually not the first. Thank you, Maisie. Thank you. Cats. This is not the first TWSBI that I got. I got a different emerald before this one, and I had major issues with it, to the point literally that I tried to take it apart to reassemble it, to just like assess it, and it would not go back together. Like, I know as a newbie, I probably should have just reached out to Goulet Pens. And I did at one point, telling them like it wasn't spinning for me, this piston. So I couldn't get it back to filling up after I had cleaned it one time. I was literally in the middle of taking the video and it finally released after like 3 weeks of not being able to spin. But that's the only one that's not in my collection, not due to my doing. I bought this one as a replacement, although I have moved on from it being like a favorite of mine. And then I got caught up in the strawberries and cream Lamies. I thought they were amazing, and I figured, I liked Lamies well enough. And I was doing a bunch of writing, and I just figured I would be able to keep them inked, keep them from drying out because I'd use them so much. So I got both of them. I don't know, just be able to say I had them. I don't know. They were super cute. They're cool. I liked them. And then I saw the purple diamond 580 ALR. And I really, really liked it. Oh, by the way, all of these and this one are medium nibs. And most of these are medium nibs as well. Because medium seems to be, whether it's a German nib or a Japanese nib, medium seems to be my happy spot. So that's where I have ended up. The problem with this one, though, I'm just checking now. So the problem with my purple is that there's grooves, itty bitty grooves on this grip. So the more I wrote with it and the longer I held it, the more the metal would dig into my fingers, and absolutely hate that. Then we move on to what I'm currently using. Currently have inked up, other than my Eco, but that's for like a one project kind of thing. I first got this one. No, this one first. I know because this is a limited edition Conklin Duraflex, and I got $8.45 out of $8.98 first, and it wouldn't work for me. I couldn't fill it up. Well, I could fill it up, but the writing was scratchy. It was skipping. It was just, it didn't want to flow. Nothing I did could make it flow. But I wanted the pen. It's so pretty. It's a full demonstrator. It's got the rose gold accent, and I absolutely loved it. So I bought a second one as a replacement. This one worked just fine. And I thought, okay, maybe it's just something with me. I don't know. I put it in a drawer, forgot about it for a little while. Put it back in its box. I used this for a while. And then I moved on to, I got you first. My Conklin, this is the Conklin Endura. And she was on sale, and I was like, you're super duper pretty. And I already know that I like your nibs, so I'm going to go ahead and get one. This is probably my favorite. As I get ink all over my hand. Okay. This one's probably my favorite just because she's been here the longest. She's always inked up with a red ink, whether it's Diatramentus Cherry, Diamine Rider's Blood, Diamine Ox Blood, Sarai, things like that. She's always in a red, and she's never let me down. And then I got my Duragraph, the Conklin Duragraph. This one's also limited edition, and it is number 563 out of 1898. And it's got the chrome. I also got this one on sale, and I was super happy because I absolutely loved riding with my Endura, but I wanted something with a more wider color range because I just wanted my reds in the Endura. But this one's fallen to being just filled with blue, only because I fell in love with Diatramentus Plum ink. I went through a whole sample of it, and I was like, you know what, I need to buy it. And then it kept going out of stock and into stock and out of stock and into stock, and I just couldn't get it, and I finally got it. So I love the Diatramentus Cherry and the Diatramentus Plum. They're both scented inks from Diatramentus, and they work very, very well. The next up is the Kaweco Sports. I got these at the same time in the same order. The lavender had just come out. I had just fallen in love with lavender, and I wanted a pen for it. It is a pretty tiny pen. It's what would be called a pocket pen. Kind of. Especially when it's closed. When it's posted, it's a pretty good writing size, but it's still pretty short. This one has a medium nib, and I thought, broaden your horizons, Vanessa. And I got the mint in a broad nib. And then I thought, are you stupid? You know you love medium nibs. But I've been using the broad nib with the rose gilt tint from Robert Oyster. Is that Robert Oster? Is that what it is? Yeah, rose gilt tint. Gilt, Gilt, and then Tynte. Could you go? Go. Cats. Anyways, that's what made me decide, because I was going to get a medium nib for this, and but I started using it with because rose gilt tint has a shimmer aspect in it, and I didn't want it to clog up any of my other pens, so I figured this one's broad, it's not super hard to clean, and I'll just keep it in here. And that's where I've decided to stay. Yes, please, make your way down. Come on. Either go or go. Okay. So those are staying with a medium and a broad. Using the broad with the shimmer as like a title writer, kind of. And then I went back to trying to figure out why this pen would not work. Because I wanted another pen to use to ink up, because I'm like that. And I realized after taking the converter out, like I had looked and looked and looked, but I took the converter out and realized on the seal that a chip had come out of the seal. So it wasn't getting a correct seal into the pen to continue the flow of ink. It was letting air into the ink flow, and that's why it was like scratchy and jumpy all the time. So I got a corrected converter for it. I also tried a broad and a stub nib in this one, and I just went back to a medium. Mediums are my bread and butter. And then for Christmas, my mom got me the Galen Leather Narval in lavender. It's inked up with Robert Oster's River of Fire right now for Capricorn season. I've written with it a little bit to do some affirmations. This is also a medium nib. I love that the nib is purple. And it works very well for me. I love demonstrator pens, obviously. I mean, 3 out of the 7 in my currently inked are demonstrator pens. You just don't have to guess how much ink you have left. You don't have to guess what color's in it. And that's great for me. That's what I want. Just simplicity. Well, complicated simplicity. And I love them. I love using them. I love finding a reason to use them. They're amazing. If you do decide to get into fountain pens, I would say start with the TWSBI Eco, but don't start with an extra fine. Start with a fine or a medium because they are far less scratchy. Or you could get like a Platinum Preppy, or like there's other ones that are like cheaper that come pre-filled that you can just test with. Sorry, I'm trying to get my cat down. This one's Sophie. There you go. Finally. But yeah, so I would say go with an Eco because it's cheaper, and go with a medium or fine nib because they're less scratchy than the extra fine, but they won't bleed all over the place with ink because it's a broad nib or something like that. Also, paper matters. Paper matters, paper matters, paper matters. Okay. There's some people who are brand new to the community and think that paper does not matter, and they're writing on like printer paper, and that's not okay. Don't do that to your pens. Don't do that to your peers. Don't do that. Just don't do that to yourself. Okay. Invest in a Rhodia pad or a Clairefontaine notebook or a Leuchtturm notebook, a Moleskine notebook. I don't know, something. Invest in something other than printer paper, please. And not a college ruled notebook either. Okay. But fountain pens are amazing, and you can pick any color that you want to go in your fountain pen. There's sheening, there's shimmering, there's shading, there's really cool ones that change colors. There's ones that look like oil spills, all rainbowy and cool, and then there's just some amazing shades that you can't get from a gel ink or a ballpoint pen or anything like that, and it's amazing. These are also not calligraphy pens. They don't flex like a calligraphy pen. The nib has two has 2 tines, and on fountain pens they don't spread like calligraphy pens do. So you're not going to get that like calligraphy look out of just writing with a fountain pen. If you want the calligraphy look, go with a calligraphy pen. Go with a brush pen. You can find some pens that are called flex nibs. Like Noodler's has a flex nib that I guess looks really good with the like, you know what I'm saying. The differences in when you're writing. But usually fountain pens are not flex nibs, and they do not do that on their own because they're not supposed to. Fountain pens are not supposed to have their tines go in and out like that, like calligraphy nibs. So if you're looking for a calligraphy pen, don't get a fountain pen. And if you have a fountain pen, don't use calligraphy ink, because calligraphy ink does not go well in fountain pens and can clog them up and can be a horrible thing and can ruin your pen. Sorry, I'm rambling now. But other than that, this is my collection. You'll probably see these ones specifically popping up in videos. I know you've seen my Narval multiple times in my devotional and my astrological planners, and you're gonna continue to see it. But yeah, other than that, I think that's all for this one. Next up is my YouTube planner plan with me. I am losing a little bit of light, so I might have to use the light for that, the ring light for that one. But other than that, I will see you in the next one. Bye!